All right. So last week, I told you about this big bull market that's setting up to just rip and rip and rip higher. And I told you that there's three sectors, A, B, and C, that I believe are going to lead the market higher. And just the response that I've been getting tells me that I think we're on to something, folks. We're on to something. All right. So last week we did A, which is artificial intelligence. And I told you the Profits Unlimited portfolio. Wow, it's stacked. It's stacked with so many artificial intelligence plays. I mentioned UiPath. I mentioned Too Simple. I mentioned Tesla. I mentioned Palantir. Today we're going to deal with the B, which is for biotech. All right. So biotech, at least in terms of like the drug market, has really been in like this horrific bear market for like 7 years. Really, the top was like in 2014, 2015. And while there have been, some stocks here and there as a sector, as a group, biotech is done pretty poorly. It's done pretty poorly. In my experience, my history is that like after you have like a long bear market, 2014, 2015 to 2022, that's a long bear market, 7 years, kind of washes out the people that sort of jumped in at the high at the previous bull market, and they've been washed out. And even more, so many companies have traded at very low prices for so long that the true believers, the strong hands, the diamond hands, they've accumulated company by company, like, hey, this company, trading at $1, $2, $5, $7, $10, whatever it is, they're like, hey, I'm just going to keep buying, going to keep buying. And what that does is it just concentrates all of the holdings in the hands of people that really believe, that really have conviction in these companies. So now when like all that loose like supply of shares has been like sucked in, now you have a hard market. And biotech, it's just one of these markets. I mean, you go back and look at that 2014 bull market. Whoa, I mean, there were some just incredible, it's just like phenomenal, gigantic moves. I mean, stocks that would just move up 700%, 800%, 1,000% in the space of 1 year, sometimes in the space of like a few months. Like, biotech has just always had that capability because it's a sector that's driven by a lot by psychology, because oftentimes biotech companies, they're working on intellectual property. They don't generate revenue. So there's people that make big short bets and there's people that take the other side. So you can have these enormous moves that happen in a big way. And at the same time, there are these gigantic leaders that just kind of like get the sector going. And today what I want to cover is like, well, biotech, but there's going to be sector leaders. Let's talk about those in this video. So in my judgment, really, there's going to be three sort of like generals of the biotech bull market that's coming. And we're invested in all three. So if you're in Profits Unlimited, no worries. This biotech bull market is taking off with you. It's going to take off with you. And we are setting up, in my judgment, and remember, this channel, opinion, not advice. You make money, you lose money. On you. All right. So this biotech bull market is going to take off with you, and it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be big because, like I said, we're coming off a long bear market, and growth has been just smashed. I mean, the beat down since sort of like earlier this year has been huge, but things are setting up to go our way and go big. So what are the generals of this new biotech bull market? Well, general number one is CRISPR technology. And you know that in Profits Unlimited, we own CRSP, which is CRISPR Technologies. And the reason to buy into CRISPR technology and be in this is that, you know what, the thing is that other than sort of antibiotics, penicillin, and I know people are going to be like, Paul, you are hyping this. You are really going over the top. But listen, folks, just give me a shot here. All right. CRISPR technology is the first technology that has the actual chance of actually curing disease. Like, I mean, okay, it's going to be at first, like, in diseases where there's just a few people, like, I don't mean a few people, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. But eventually this technology is going to get to more and more people. But the big difference is that it's actually going to cure you. Most medicines today, they treat you, but they don't cure you. And CRISPR technology, because of what it can do, essentially goes and swaps out, the default, the faulty part of your gene, which produces some protein, some enzyme, and essentially gives you a cure to a disease. I mean, so you take this and you are well. I mean, so you get your quality of life, you potentially live longer. I mean, this is going to be valuable, folks. This is going to be incredibly valuable. This is going to be, in my opinion, the most valuable sector in biotechnology. And right now, it's just trading for a few $1 billion. So you really want to be in this. And, if you're in our services, you own this. I mean, you own this. So we're all in on CRISPR technology. So that's general number one. And Profits Unlimited, like I said, we own CRSP, which is CRISPR Technologies. The second one is a little bit controversial because it's right now associated with vaccines, and that is mRNA technology. And yeah, all the folks that, hate vaccines and hate the COVID vaccine, hey, it's cool. You can turn the video off and move on. That's fine. You can hate it and be anti. That's all fine. I'm just talking about mRNA technology. And if you're interested, keep watching. If it's not for you, hey, that's fine. Skip ahead and, go to the next one. All right. So, because we're talking about investing here, and that's what we're going to stick to. All right. mRNA technology, my judgment, hey, is phenomenal. I mean, we get this deadly virus that, has killed millions of people around the world, still killing like 200, 250 people a day in the United States. And we are able to come up with a vaccine. I mean, in the space of like 2.5 years. And, 2 vaccines that have been sold around the world being used. And we did that in like record time. And that is due to, of course, a lot of the improvements that we have in terms of us being able to synthesize a virus, but equally it's as a result of mRNA technology, which is amazing. And again, has the potential, once again, people say, Paul, you're hyping this, but again, of being like penicillin, because, hey, to be able for us to come up with a vaccine for a virus that we've never seen before, that is as contagious as COVID, and where it works, it's safe, it's given to now, probably 1 billion people around the world. I mean, we're talking the ability to really, change the pathway for, any virus-mediated disease in the future. And mRNA technology gives us that capability. And so obviously in Profits Unlimited, we have Moderna, but there are other mRNA technology companies that are out there. But Moderna, in my judgment, is the leader. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, they were able to actually get a vaccine, get it approved, get it implemented. It's largely safe. I mean, it's been put into so many people. So if there was some gigantic safety signal, we would see it. So Moderna and mRNA technology, that's general number 2 for this coming bull market in biotechnology. The third one, the third general for the biotech bull market is really in diagnostics. And this is represented by Exact Sciences in the Profits Unlimited portfolio. And if you're in our other services, it's there through, these molecular diagnostic companies like Invitae and others. And I mean, if you go and think about the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, something that used to be kind of like, difficult, something you'd go someplace, your doctor's office to get tested. We're now increasingly doing at home. Like I've taken a number of tests where kits have been shipped to me. I've shipped out samples that have been tested, and then I go on my phone, I get the results in 3 days or 5 days, or with respect to COVID, it's sometimes 6 hours. Either way, we are doing more and more testing and more molecular-based testing, and that is expanding out to more and more diseases as we are able to now use testing in more precise and specific ways to determine whether we have some virus, whether we have a particular maybe gene sequence. There's going to be more and more testing that helps us identify what disease we have, and then also increasingly then to match us with the right medication, right treatment that is appropriate for us. And so that's the bull market, folks. I mean, we really, can make a lot of money because biotech is one of these sectors I mentioned. In a bull market, I mean, this is the millionaire maker. I mean, biotech, I would say, like during its bull markets, just can mint you massive amounts of money. So we're all in on biotech in the Profits Unlimited portfolio. And truthfully, there's other elements of sort of biotech, which is more in healthcare and medicine, like teledoc and telemedicine, that are all related. I mean, these are not separate sectors. I mean, as you see these generals move up, you will also see other sectors benefit. But the three big ones, folks, CRISPR technology, mRNA technology, and then molecular diagnostics. These are the three big generals of the biotech bull market that is setting up right now, and it's going to be huge. My experience is that biotech, this is the millionaire maker trade. You want to be in because it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And, hey, I have been mentioning it's like this year has been brutal, but I'm going to tell you, it will be well worth it because on the other side, and biotech bull market, that other side, it's huge. It's going to be massive. It's going to be phenomenal. And I believe the stocks that we have in Profits Unlimited and across our portfolios, just incredible, phenomenal. We are going to make some big money and we are going to win big. I am bullish. I am optimistic. I am positive. So hang in there. The finish line for the bear market is almost in sight. The new bull market is nearly here. And I mentioned ABC covered artificial intelligence last week, covered biotech this week. Next week, I'm going to cover the C, which is crypto. So come back next week. If you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. Like I mentioned, next week, crypto. Bye.